Hello and welcome back. If you're here for the first time, thank you for choosing to tune in. So we are here with a lot of news today, so grab a snack. We have a lot to discuss. So the month isn't even halfway through, and Meghan has had a whirlwind October. And now we have her once again stepping out at the Fortune Most Powerful Women Summit in Washington, D.C. Wow, Meghan is booked and busy. On October the 14th, the As Ever founder appeared at the summit to discuss her brand launched this year and navigating entrepreneurship in the public eye and building a brand that will endure. We have some clips here. I'll try to put some in. So we have quite a bit of topics that Meghan covered here. Let's get into her session. During her conversation called Next Level Influence, a conversation with Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, Meghan stepped out in an all-white ensemble for the appearance. Very polished and put together look, her hair worn down, her makeup very neutral. She was glowing, positively glowing. And she spoke with Fortune's editor-in-chief and chief content officer, Alison Chantel, about her Netflix partnership, telling her of the possibility of a third season of her show with Love Meghan. And she also teased the holiday special coming out in November and said it was a really good one. So she says about the format of her show that it's a year of learn, so that they're able to say 8 episodes for 2 seasons is a lot of work. And she talked about her experience on set, and she knows what goes into production and recognizes how many people want content in different sizes. So she said part of what we're testing out now is amazing to sit and watch the show for 30 minutes, but how can I give you a recipe in 2 minutes? So she also talked about As Ever, her brand, referencing the growth and scaling up. So it was also cool to know, I'm going to add in here, she talked about a tease concerning this December special, where she said gift wrapping is something that she has a lot of experience in, and she talked about it right here, so just take a walk.
I do lots of gift wrapping techniques. You guys know I used to teach gift wrapping at Paper Source and advanced gift wrapping. So, all of those things that you do as an auditioning actor, that's not the full circle I was expecting, but here we are. When I used to do calligraphy, I used to do it for so many celebrity weddings and for hotels, and that was in between auditions, and at the time, I don't know why I didn't think to just buy a glove, but you don't want the natural oils from your hands to get on the beautiful paper. So I would just put a white tube sock on my hand, write all these very fancy cards for people.
Amazing. Well, a long way from the white tube socks on your hands, but we can all appreciate that.
Yes.
I love that. It's full circle for her because she's going to be teaching us how to wrap gifts. I am super thrilled for this special. It already is putting me in, that Christmas mood, and I'm super excited to see all of the inspiration that's going to come from this show. So once again, talking about her lifestyle brand As Ever, with her deep love and passion for goods, with her brand selling the jams, the spreads, sprinkles, teas, and on, she said that tactile products could be in the mix in the future, and has also expanded her media presence with the Netflix show. And she was asked about social media. She said that, quote, "Look, I have had a very complicated relationship with social media, as you can probably imagine. But I also recognize the role that it plays in business," end quote. So that's in response to her being asked if she would ever think about joining TikTok. But she did talk about the hiatus that she had from social media, rejoining in January, and she says that she continues to develop a social media plan that works for her, her family, and her business. One tactic that she's used is turning off comments on social media posts because, quote, "a lot of those people aren't going to my page to see negativity. It's not just protecting myself or the people that work with me, but also the supporters," end quote. So look at that. It's all about community for her.
January. Woo, it's changed.
You're back, you're in action, but you're not on TikTok. I'm
Not
curious,
yet.
why, will you be going on TikTok?
I don't know. I mean, I think, look, I have had a very complicated relationship with social media, as you can probably imagine. And I also recognize the role that it plays in business. Part of it is, equally the work that you were talking about earlier. My husband and I spend a lot of time working on online harms, specifically surrounding protecting our children, not ours personally, but all of our children, for what they're susceptible to in the online space. So I'm sensitive to that. I also recognize that if you can show up in these spaces and be on the side of good, there is tremendous value in that also. So we're going to continue to expand the footprint in the social and digital space for the brand. For me personally, I don't know. The last time I was on Instagram, you guys, Boomerang was a thing. That was a long time ago. So having started in January, I just started to explore and play in the same way that anyone else does when they're online. I just happen to do it with a little bit more attention.
And she also talked about the fact that she's scaling her brand as ever. She was asked whether they would have a physical presence in stores. And she's also mentioned the fact that she would love to see As Ever in particular expand on a more global scale. And I know that's going to make a lot of us very happy, because I've seen in the comment section, every time there's a new launch, everyone just keeps on saying, I wish we could get these products in other territories. So there have been a lot of you who have truly been innovative, have been able to get these products in UAE, in Europe, several countries, whether it's Germany or the UK. You have found ways to get those products to you. But she knows that a lot of us want to get our hands on these products all over the world. And her intention, she said, is to have bespoke small retail collaborations and do some interesting ones in global territories. So looking forward to that. She wants this brand to have accessibility. She talks about it being mastige, and we love this. So once again, Meghan in Washington, D.C., she just had such a very intimate session as well, talking about her own background as a working actress, her doing calligraphy invitations, and how she was able to use the tube sock. She said before she figured out you could use a glove to not get the hand oils on the paper. So yes, I love how she shared those anecdotes from her coming up in the industry, and now she talks about the team that is surrounding her, that is constantly pushing the envelope, asking questions of how they can show up in ways that have more detail for the customer. She takes great care on the brand that she's putting before us here. So I'm so excited that Meghan, once again, is just being an inspiration for women, especially. You know how that's always been a thing that she has championed, women being empowered in the workplace, empowered as entrepreneurs. And I just love this. I also loved how she talked about the creative part of As Ever, and that the brand is an extension of her aesthetic. And she said something concerning work-life balance that really stood out. She said she's the one who is going to chaperone the first grade field trip, and at the same time go back to the operational side, finishing off meetings, doing touch-ups on the brand and all of that. So she is a working mom. And I love how she's open as a founder, that, even as a mom, she wants to not only champion women having independence, financial independence, but she also understands how women want to be in the home, involved, and also have a fulfilling career. So I love this. She also talked about financial independence, saying that it gives you the freedom of choice. And she says in this day and age, it's important for people to have autonomy. And it's something for young girls that is very empowering for them. And as women, when we support each other in these elements, it's important for us not to have taboos about talking about financial independence overall. So I love that. Supporting each other, building legacies, that is something that is very important to the Duchess of Sussex. We as women embracing each other. So it was a fantastic talk, so much warmth and good rapport, and the audience was just hanging on every word that Meghan was saying. So I want to share this first story with you. Share your highlights and standouts in the comment section below. And now on to the second story of the day. This is going to be so much fun. Meghan gave us an intimate peek into her recent New York City trip and laid-back moments that highlighted her and Harry's down-to-earth side. So, Meghan shared an Instagram reel captioned, "Until the next time, New York City, thanks for the memories. You really know how to charm a gal," featuring candid moments from the couple's visit. In a short video set to Dinah Washington's If I Were a Belle, offered a mix of glamour and authenticity with clips of Meghan showing her travel wardrobe, the couple walking hand in hand, and even multiple boxes of half-eaten pizza, which showed us that they enjoy a late-night slice. So in this clip, we saw a view of the clouds from an airplane in the sky, followed by a glimpse of large, fun-shaped cookies, including a smiley face emoji and a New York City taxi. Meghan filmed her feet secured with cozy socks, followed by an assortment of heels lined up against a drawer unit. She then showed off her travel wardrobe on a clothing rack that includes dress pants and blazers and that dress. You can see that tweed dress. We're going to circle back to that. And as Meghan pans through the clothes, she filmed Prince Harry smiling. This was a stand-up moment. He was there smiling as he stood barefoot by a doorway in gray sweatpants and a matching top. So while this was a highlight, it was simply because of the relaxed and affectionate scene in that one moment. And we've seen it before, even as they're on the public stage with their public-facing personas, they always find each other. But here it was completely him adoringly looking at her, getting ready. I just loved the fact that he truly is more in love with Meghan than ever. He is so proud of her. He thinks she's so beautiful. And you can see that all conveyed even in the still as we take a screen grab of the image. Look at that man. He loves her. He just thinks he lucked out. And even as he said in the interview, he said, "Look what I got." The feeling is the same. We also see the video cutting to Meghan filming herself as she puts on makeup at a vanity. And we also got to see some of the looks that she was trying out. So it seemed for that night she was styling herself, and she always has her makeup on point. So it also had clips of them indulging in pizza. As I said, multiple boxes of half-eaten pizza. For those of you who are in New York, do you recognize any of the companies and the boxes right there? Share with us if you recognize any of those brands. Maybe those are your favorite spots. We'd like to know in the comments section. So once again, in black and white, we did have this short clip of Harry and Meghan just smiling at each other as they were preparing to go out. They were to accept the Humanitarians of the Year award. So there they were backstage in that intimate moment between the both of them. And I love how Meghan is so dedicated to capturing these moments and sharing them with us. It's so sweet. And amongst the highlights of these clips is a moment with Ed Sheeran. As you can see, Meghan there laughing with him. So once again, I'm so happy that Meghan has shared with us so many moments from her time in New York. I love the cinematic quality of some of these scenes as she lingers over small details, the city skyline, and those intimate moments between her and Harry where they enjoy moments of quiet between their high-profile engagements. It's very artful. And once again, it is truly a moment for us. We get to see these curated glimpses into her life, which give us this approachable yet sophisticated balance between her life, because you could see this behind the scenes. It featured everything from them barefoot, Meghan in her socks, her cozy socks, and you can see the highlighting of the intimacy as well over the opulence with the pizza, the half-eaten boxes. It just shows a down-to-earthness of this trip. Barefoot Prince Harry, which just shows how relaxed they all are. It's not all about formality. They are truly a couple who know how to just present themselves as authentically as possible, and there is warmth and love that is seamless through all of these clips. So much to share. And once again, I want to, as I mentioned, segue into the next story, which was Prince Harry and Meghan having a night out with their close friend Ed Sheeran. As you can see, once again, there was this clip in the highlights as Meghan is seen there having a good laugh. So there's much more to cover with that. So share your thoughts on this first Instagram reel of Meghan reminiscing about their time in New York. So on to the next story of the day. It made huge news, and we covered that here on this channel. But now we know that Harry and Meghan stepped out once again in New York City with long-time pal Ed Sheeran. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, as well as the British singer, were spotted leaving Soho House on Sunday, October the 12th. Meghan was absolutely dazzling, wearing a strapless dress for the occasion with her hair pulled back into a low bun. And Harry, dapper as ever, sported a suit. without a tie, and he looked very sleek as well. Meanwhile, Sheeran was photographed dressed down in a black tee. And the outing marked a return to the members-only restaurant for the couple. And on Friday, Harry and Meghan once again had lunch with Serena Williams at the hot spot. So Soho House has a sentimental meaning for Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, as they had their first date at the London location in July 2016. And the following day, they met up again at the Members Club for a second date. Harry and Sheeran have shared history, including appearances together at a light-hearted video for the World Mental Health Day in 2019 through the Royal Foundation heads together at the time, and they encouraged people to check in on friends and talk openly about mental health. And the video also included the pair joking about their shared feature of red hair. So they crossed paths again in 2021 at a private garden party with the winners of the Well Child Award, where they swapped stories about fatherhood. So that's a very close friendship as well. And it was good to see that Harry and Meghan made full use of their time in the Big Apple after a string of official appearances, including being honored at Project Healthy Minds' annual World Mental Health Day Gala on October the 9th. On the occasion, the couple received the Humanitarians of the Year award for their commitment to mental health support and building a safer digital world for today's youth and families. So once again, we have it here. I know that some of the pictures are paparazzi pictures, and because I know how Harry in particular feels about those, I will give a description of what they were wearing. So once again, on this night out, they were wearing a dark look, in a look that perfectly reflected their own personal style, and they had this coordination between them in the aesthetic of very balanced as always, and they looked confident and effortless as they stepped out, chic as always. I love how the couple play off of each other when it comes to their choices of dressing and clothing. It truly is such a fantastic pairing when you think about it, because Harry had on a navy suit and Meghan appeared in a gray Chanel tweed bandeau dress. She previously wore this piece in her 2022 profile for the cut, so I'm going to put it here so we now actually have a description and a look of what she was wearing. So I love how she rewears her pieces. Love that for her. She always buys these statement pieces and she keeps on making good use of them. So you gotta love a Duchess who knows how to make the most out of her wardrobe. And credit to what Meghan wore. They have said that her clutch was the Armani clutch bag that she's also been seen with before. So you can see that here. And then she was wearing some pumps with this look. So she was looking fantastic. Her makeup, as always, fresh-faced. She always favors that look because it brings out her own natural features. It's not overpowering. Everything just is very seamless. So it looks like they had a good dinner. Must have enjoyed themselves. And I can only wonder what they were talking about. Perhaps just catching up because, as I mentioned before, Harry and Ed Sheeran in particular have been longtime friends. And I just love how in this time that they were in New York, yes, they were on mission, but they also play hard and work hard at the same time. They make time for their friends, and you've got to love a couple who have a great support system around them. So there she was. You can see this dress that she re-wore, and she looked every bit as fabulous on this occasion. So I want to share this with you. Share your thoughts on this news in the comment section below. So now there's a story that has been brought to my attention. It's a short story, but I wanted to share it here because there might be some significance here and I really want to know your thoughts. So let's get into this. So there was a story I wanted to cover here, and once again, I want us to take this with a huge grain of salt. I saw it in cosmopolitan.com. They have talked about Harry and Meghan and a potential trip to the UK with the children. So I want to caveat this by saying, of course, we don't just believe everything published. Harry and Meghan speak for themselves. But now we know, because there is an open avenue of communication with the palace, we know that that has also brought with it the old story of leaks. So there is something I want us to keep tracking on and see what develops, because remember, before Harry and his dad met up in UK when he went there for his engagements. I think about a month in advance in the press, there was a leak that Harry would be meeting up with Charles, and a lot of people were skeptical in the comments, and lo and behold, it seems that Harry was actually meeting up with Charles. So this is something I want us to keep track of. Sussex Squad, you know what I mean. So without further ado, this is the story from cosmopolitan.com. So it says, Prince Harry and Meghan might not want to move back to the UK, but that doesn't mean they don't want to have a good relationship with the royal family. Following Prince Harry's successful trip to the UK last month, an inside source claims that Meghan supports Harry's reconciliation attempts with King Charles. So the article here goes on to say Harry took recently a major step towards reconciliation in September when he and King Charles shared a cup of tea, their first in-person meeting in over a year. And while there are members of the royal family that are rumored to be less than thrilled by the idea of welcoming Harry back into the fold, cough, Prince William cough, the article says, hey, their words, not mine. They go on to say Meghan's support could be a good sign for things moving forward. And the article goes on to say that there is a tabloid, which I won't name here, that is saying that there are currently tentative talks, in quotes, about a trip to the UK in the near future, in quotes, by Harry, Meghan, and their 2 children. Indeed, it seems that Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet could be a major motivator for the royal family to reach some sort of compromise, especially as Charles continues to battle what he's been going through. So they say, according to another tabloid, the king wants to be a grandfather to his grandchildren, so that's an important pull. However, security remains an issue. One of Harry's main points of contention with the royal family is the lack of security being offered to himself and his family when they are in the UK, which makes traveling difficult. And they also go on to add that in May, after that court battle where he had requested a new security evaluation did not go his way, he did not feel safe bringing his family to his home country anymore. He said, quote, I can't see a world in which I would bring my wife and children back to the UK at this point, end quote. So that's the article, and I want us to keep tabs on this. Remember, before Harry met Charles this year, it was leaked in advance. And now, even after that, we got to know what kind of tea they had. Pictures were shared. So there is a tap leaking from the palace. So now that Lilibet and Archie are in the mix, people are saying Charles wants to be a grandfather and all of that. Let's keep tabs on this story, and I want to know your thoughts on this in the comment section. We're going to have a poll running. Do you want Archie, Lily, and Meghan to go over to the UK with Harry to meet with Charles? I want to know whether you are for that or against that or whatever else you may think. Also, let's discuss that in the comment section below. And remember, let's keep this respectful as much as we can. We know that this is Harry who wants to bridge that gap with his family, and we've discussed this in previous videos, the pros, the cons. So if you want to watch that, links will be in the cards and in the end screen, so kindly go over there and just go over that video. We have tried to peel back all of the layers of this potential reunion, and now that Archie and Lily are being mentioned more in the mix, I have a sense that this is being leaked in advance. So I want to know your thoughts. This is quite interesting, so let's see what happens as the story develops. Keep it here for more. Share your thoughts on this news in the comment section below. As always, before we log off, allow me here to thank those of you who support this channel financially and shout out a couple of you here by name. A very special thank you now to you, Rose Hill. I truly feel blessed to have you be a part of this community. Thank you for your remarkable generosity. Your presence here has truly been fantastic, and I appreciate your support and love more than words can say. You really have made a significant difference here. Thank you for that incredible kindness that you've shown time and time again. Thank you. God bless you and yours. A very special thank you now to you, Lauren Watson. Your kindness is so evident. I'm genuinely grateful for the times that you have showed up for this community tangibly through your support and generosity. And you have been an excellent example of altruism. And I just want to say thank you for planting that seed of love, warmth, and care here as a part of this community, and I know that you will reap it immeasurably. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being a part of this channel. I love you. God bless you exceedingly abundantly above all you could ask or think. Thank you. Thank you. Once again, thank you to all who support this channel financially, to those who like, comment, and share. I appreciate you all. If you liked this update, give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, follow on social media. Links will be in the cards and in the pinned comment. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day and keep it here for more, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.